we're about to begin the Jewish high holidays, and at the same time, there is news of expanding violence and threat against all kinds of people in the Middle East, especially Israel, that had been targeted by bombs. And I would invite you, Rabbi Jill Jacobs, to talk about how you are doing, first of all, but perhaps give some rabbinic offering to the Jewish community, but the wider community in this moment of what appears to be a widening conflict in the Middle East.
Thanks. Yeah, as we're sitting here talking, yesterday there were close to 200 rockets aimed from Iran at Israel. And I will say that I, like many other people in the Jewish community, spent that hour or so when those rockets were flying, just texting all of our relatives and friends who are all in their bomb shelters and just really shaking from that event. And we are, after a year of war following October 7th, it seems like there's no obvious way that this war is going to end. We've seen, of course, the expansion of the war into Lebanon, the assassination of Nasrallah and other Hezbollah officials who are absolutely legitimate targets. They have the blood of Israelis and Americans and Lebanese and Syrian people on their hands. And also that's led to an expanded war now also with Iran. I don't know what's going to happen in the next few days. It's, every day is new information, but it is a very, very scary moment for everybody in that region, for Israelis, for Palestinians, Lebanese civilians, Iranian civilians, everybody who's caught up in a war that most people don't want. Most people want to live their lives in peace, and various leaders are deciding to continue to escalate. So, I think about Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, kind of these liminal days where you're standing in the breach between the past year and next year. They're days that are characterized by awe and trembling. Very famously, we don't say Hallel, which is the songs of praise that we normally say on major holidays on Rosh Hashanah, because how can you possibly say words of praise when we're standing there in such fear? And so it's really actually appropriate to the moment to have that sense of fear, of trembling, of anticipation, of concern about what's going to happen, of feeling we're sitting in this liminal moment where we see that things could get much worse, or God willing, and the willingness of leaders willing, they could get better. So that's definitely how I'm entering the year. There's a very famous piyut, or kind of song poem that begins Rosh Hashanah services in many communities, called Achot Ketana, which the refrain keeps saying over and over, let the year with all of its curses end. And then when you get to the very end of it, it says, let the year with its blessings begin. And I'm struck every year that every single year we are looking back in the previous year and saying there are so many curses. We hope the next year brings blessings. Obviously, this past year brought a lot of curses, and it's a little hard to see the blessings, but we're again going to be standing there tonight, many of us, saying those words and praying that the just horrific curses of this past year will be over, and that we can start the next year with some blessings.
May it be so.